Okay guys, I got something that's just gonna blow your mind here. This is the kind of the last thing I figured I would see when I was doing this. Okay, this is a brand new pin that goes at the bottom of the boom. This is not the king pin, it's the one in front and below the king pin, or where the boom and the dipper meet, one of those two. This is the one at the bottom of the boom. And this is a brand new one, never been on the machine. You can see how much slack is in it. Very, very little slack. Very little. This is the one I took out. It really doesn't have much slack in it, as you can see. But this is the interesting part right here, guys. Check this out. Now, I went to take this out, this just messed with me. Look at this. It broke. That's why it had so much slack in there. The welds broke on both sides. I went to take that out, and it made it really, really interesting to get this thing out of there. But yeah, it's broke. I don't know how this will show up in there or not. It looks rusty, but it's not. It's just wear, because I keep this thing greased big time. If you watched one of my assembly videos, you'll see on there how I wrapped tape around it right here, and squirted grease in here with a needle zert. And the one I put in there, I just got through doing the exact same thing with it. I didn't show it because I've already done 2 videos on how to do that. You can just check those out if you hadn't seen them, and it works really good. But it's not wore out. It's got a little more slack than this one, a little more, but it's not wore out. I'm gonna weld this up and fix this. I haven't tried this yet. Let me see something here. I don't know if this will fit in there or not. Let me see. It won't fit in there. All right, I was going to try to measure that and measure this, but this is the pin on the bottom. Here, I'll show you. The pin I'm fixing to measure come out of right here. This is the one I was having problems with. This pin right here is a brand new pin. I went ahead and put it in. I thought, well, I'm putting in a new cylinder, I might as well put in a new pin. I got one, I just put it in. So I'm gonna measure that one and just to see what the wear difference is between them, just out of curiosity. Okay, this is the new one. This is a brand new pin, never been on anything. And it is, whoops. It is 0.9850, and the brand, the one that was in there that has worn, or that was in there working, is 0.9340, It's bouncing around a little bit. Let me try right up here. It's heck right there. It says it's 1 inch. Down here, 0.9895. So it's not worn at all. I'm going to keep this pin. Just out of curiosity, this one is a brand new pin again, and it's 0.994, and this is the one that is broken, the one that come out of there. I think these shafts are the same size, and it's 0.860. And then up here, it's 0.9940. So it's really not worn. It's not worn at all. Let's see what the inside of this says. And this is 0.9725. Try it again. It says 1.095. Now then, just for kicks and giggles, let me go get this. I've had this thing sitting over there draining into an oil pan, so it's got hydraulic fluid all over it. This end down here is the end I've been having problems with, and this end down here is I haven't had any problems with this end. Try to get you guys where you can see here. Let's see what this one says right here. Whoops. .983. Let's try that in this direction. Right there it says, whoops, I'm sideways. 1.0. So this is a little bit bigger, which it has to be for the grease to get in there. So, like I said, this is a brand new pin, and this is that wore out one. And this is the opposite end of the wore out one. See, it's got a little bit of slack. So, I mean, I really haven't been hard on this equipment, but I really have dug a lot with it. Like I said, I've dug way over 1,000 foot of ditches with it. Let me show you. Like I said, I replaced this one. Let me show you what this looks like now. Let me get you up here where you can see. Okay, remember, right here is where we're looking. And before, you remember what it looked like before. Heck, I can move it a long ways. There's still play in there, but there was when it was brand new. It's not as bad as it was. Not as bad as it was. So, okay. And the interesting part about this is whenever I replace this pin here, is with that sleeve laying in there, it just wanted to slide out, but I couldn't get the sleeve out because the sleeve was hanging up on the inside. So I put a ratchet strap around this and left it loose. And I had a floor jack down here for a car. And I jacked it up and I tried with the screwdriver and a few other things, tried to get it even up so I could push it out. I couldn't. So I give myself a little bit of slack here. I lower this part down to where I can pull, I lowered it down right here, and then I was able to pull this out, and then I jacked my jack back up, and then as I worked it in there, just like assembling it brand new, other than it was dirty, I was able to shove the new one in there. And but yeah, check that out. It just broke it. The weld broke all the way around, and that's why it was allowing it to move around. And of course, you've got a pin, a hole here and a hole here, so it couldn't go anywhere, but it was allowing it to have a little more play like this than it was supposed to. You do that ×2, and that's a lot of play. So I may just clean this thing really good and weld it back together. That way I'll have a spare. I haven't checked this one yet. I'm going to. It feels like that weld is cracked right there. This one right here. Whoops. I haven't checked this one yet, but I'm fixing to, because it feels like the weld is cracked right there. I got too much weight on it. It won't let me move it right now. But it right there, it feels like it may be cracked, like that right there. So I'm gonna check that one. I've got another one. I had 2 of these, so I'm not even gonna cry about it. I'm just gonna replace it if it is. And then I'll weld them both back up, grease both of them real good, and just put them in a plastic sack. You can see some scratches in here, and like I said, I kept this thing well greased, but in here where I squirted the grease, there's a little bit of rust or pitting right there, but I know it's not from lack of grease.